I'm Janak Palta McGilligan from Central India. I'm going to make a presentation on training people in solar thermal food processing for enhancing green economy and ecology. This presentation is based on 38 years of my experience at 3 different institutions. Number 1, Burley Development Institute for Rural Women for 26 years, and now 12 years it's at Jimmy McGilligan Center for Sustainable Development, where I'm working currently, and Javik Setu, which is an outlet for organic farmers. And during this period, I could contribute to solar cooking movement within India and internationally by participating at all different levels among hundreds and thousands of NGOs, institutions, about women programs and use of sustainable technologies, conservation of energy, organic farming, and sustainable development goals. These are 2 different pictures of Burley Development Institute for Rural Women, a Baha'i-inspired NGO in Indore, in Madhya Pradesh, Central India, where I served as a founder director for 26 years, and we trained 6,000 young rural and tribal girls, women from tribal areas, and they brought lot of positive changes in their knowledge, attitude, and practices, and especially the use of SK14 solar cooking systems and sustainable food in their own tribal communities. So this is the very first picture of my visit to tribal areas in those days of 1985, when there was no car, no phone, no roads, no electricity, and I had to look for solutions. You can see this gas lamp. When I started visiting the tribal areas for inviting trainees to the institute, I found 302 villages affected by guinea worms. So I volunteered to help people to eradicate guinea worms, and I spent 302 nights and organized street plays in local dialect and training women managing clean drinking water, and they eradicated those worms. After working for 3 years at my own, I married a Northern Irish British Baha'i pioneer who was not an engineer by degree, but he did all the work relating to alternative energy in rural communities of India that gave him Order of British Empire. Eradication of guinea worms from 302 villages. I was invited to receive Global 500 Roll of Honor by UNEP in the Earth Summit for my institute, but it's the Earth Summit that sensitized me to work for environment and think globally and act locally. And that was the time which was the starting point of my life to dedicate my life for environment. So the first thing was Jimmy and I visualized a environmental friendly campus and solutions for those villages where I had seen the circumstances of deforestation and women suffering with shortage of water, energy. So we developed a campus. The first solar kitchen was made by Jimmy. And we also had the solar water geysers. So this is still working solar kitchen. Since we were committed to green energy and green economy, we started with our campus of 6 acres, and every day in the morning, 2 hours, the girls were working with Jimmy, growing fruits, vegetables, and all the food products organically, so that they also practiced when they went back to their communities. Uh, we had a concept of holistic training of illiterate tribal girls, thinking globally and acting locally. Learn with literacy, health, environment, about service to community, and vocational skills like computer, gardening, and learn about health. After our constant visits to the tribal areas, we realized and we saw 100% women cooking in smoky kitchens, and we decided no more cooking in smoky kitchens because it's violence against women. And we started, and we never looked back. We started solar cookers program of training the tribal women, manufacturing, training, transferring, and green economy with ecology, which is still going on. Jimmy and I were now seriously concerned about women cooking in smoky kitchens and girls collecting wood and not sent to school, and the forests were getting deforested. So you can see in this slide, one first candle, a solar cooker SK14 installed in a village. You can see the situation of the terrain. Having trained by Heike Holt from Austria, Jimmy started making solar dishes. In order to take solar cookers and solar kitchens to the villages, Jimmy and I thought we should train local engineers and how they can help in installation of solar kitchen. That started at the institute. You can see a big solar kitchen in the villages and another dish being inaugurated. Jimmy learned solar kitchens and solar cookers practically with Deepak Garia and his wife, and they made a temporary kitchen with one dish from them, and after that he built a solar kitchen purposely designed at Burley campus, which is cooking for 150 people since 1998 till 2023. In the process of making solar dishes and installing kitchens, we involved the trainees in this process, which was very exciting for them, and it convinced them to take solar energy to their own homes. This is the first solar community kitchen of Central India installed in Burley Development Institute campus for the trainees. And you can see that with the direct light, the girls could make chapatis for 100 of them, make dal and vegetables, and even before sunset, they could make their dinner. Jimmy involved the staff and many girls, and practically he developed a huge area, a space for solar cookers for display and use, which was very exciting for all the girls and all the visitors to spread this technology to the people. It looked like a solar park, And unfortunately, till today, this is the only institution which is doing this in central India. As people saw the solar kitchen of the Burley Institute, many hostel people contacted Jimmy to install community kitchens for them, and he did 4 more solar community kitchens in the school hostels of children in the tribal areas. Now the girls started asking for them taking solar cookers home, and domestic solar cookers were taken home, but we never gave a cooker to anybody without they were trained. So it started with individual girls, then it took off with the group, and self-help groups came and took training. Government of India noticed Burley Institute and they contacted us to train microcredit groups in solar cooking, and government will provide them solar cookers. So that was a very big success. You can see the pictures, how the women learned how to make the solar cooking and assemble it and take the ready to assemble kits home and make their shop, and what are the products they were selling in the market using solar cookers. One of the trainees, she was very smart to start a solar tea stall in her village. So this is a start of green economy at local level. This was the first solar storage cooker started by Wolfgang Scheffler and Deepak Gadia, established at the institute, where we could cook at night. As standby for monsoon period, not sunny days, how to cook, Jimmy made this solar, uh, smoke-free, not solar, smoke-free chula with a chimney. He also demonstrated this using briquettes made by old newspapers and some twigs from the garden, and you can see that kitchen at work. For all his work with solar cookers, Jimmy was felicitated with Order of British Empire by Queen Elizabeth for his services in rural communities of India, spreading solar thermal technologies. This is a livelihood training in solar deep frying, because there was a myth that solar cooker is only cooks and bakes. So we gave training with the products which are very, very popular, and women could make a lot of money. We were able to successfully get 500 solar cookers taken away by the girls by choice after taking training. One day in India newspaper, Jimmy read that a farmer has committed suicide because he could not sell his tomatoes. So there was no Google at that time, but he had seen some solar dryer in some country, and he made different types of solar dryers for drying the food, for increasing their shelf value, shelf life, and add financial value by using solar cooker. That has been adopted very well in some parts of India. Jimmy and I had planned our retirement from the Burley Institute and bought a piece of land, and he was building this house. But before that, there was no uh, lights, electric lights in the neighborhood of 50 tribal families. And Jimmy first built a solar and wind power 19 street lights before he could complete the house. He died in a road accident, but I survived and I still do it. So this solar and wind power Jimmy built is supplying free solar wind power 19 street light to 50 tribal families. After Jimmy passed away, we completed the house. One of my students and the family, we built up the house, completed it, and this is the family we have. And I opened this to public for learning Jimmy McGilligan Center for Sustainable Development without any fees or funding. I have trained 1,69,000 people here in sustainable development, solar cooking, and organic farming. People started coming to see this place and learn. I am able to do this with one of Burli graduate, Nanda Chauhan. We have a solar dish and a domestic cooker, so we do our own cooking also on these cookers and dishes. First time villagers enjoyed solar chai in my place I'm making. Knowing my interest in solar cooker, the manufacturer of a cooker, this cooker is called Celestino cooker in India, he sent on my birthday, and the Speaker of House of Commons celebrates it, launches this to the people, and solar with solar cake. We have half an acre of land where we grow all our food products. So these are the original products of our own farm. Jimmy McGilligan Center was open to educational group visits, so that became a daily service without any fees. So I got gifted all these solar cookers by all the manufacturers in an honor and in a conference. So I'm able to demonstrate these to everybody. Thank you. There are a lot of international solar thermal energy experts keep visiting at this center. In our solar kitchen, when people come, we show them the power of sun by just placing a old newspaper in front of the secondary reflector of a Scheffler dish, and you can see the solar flame and people believe it. Now I'm going to show you more slides relating to our own products. Look at the lemons. We make pickles and jam and chutneys and lemonade. I also initiated to start a outlet for the farmers who are organic and people who want to get organic food. So this is called Javik Setu, means an organic link. So it's very successful. It also has a branch now. In the memory of Jimmy, we conduct a lot of solar cooking and baking training programs every year. I try to do innovations of learning about how to make natural colors using solar cookers, and these are children and youth with special needs who learned and they are very excited. and this is becoming a livelihood source for many people. As I said earlier, Jimmy had made solar dryers. So these are some of the products you can see. Solar dried can be kept for more than 1 year. This is indigenous fruits called ambadi. So we make different products of this. It's sweet and sour, and this is a lovely drink and full of vitamin C. So because we have our own biodiversity farm and whatever we get, the harvest, we don't want to sell things, but we want to have for self-sustainability, carrots, making carrots halwa, orange, making orange marmalade. We have mulberry, we make jam and we make juice. This is also a cleaning phenol for organic dishwasher products and powder and aloe vera gel and lot of stuff in it, but we don't need to buy chemical uh, cleaners or dishwashing material. I'm sure you will all love and be excited to see this fully blown up chapati on solar cooker. We train a lot of people on solar baking who have started their own startups and generating income. Every year we celebrate Jimmy's life with solar food festival, and everybody makes different dishes and it spreads the word and popularizes the solar cooking technologies. This was one of my innovations to make pain reliever oil, which was normally prepared 5 quintals of wood burning in 5 days, and this is only 5 hours on the solar cooker. Many international students come to learn solar drying here. One of the mechanical engineering students, Varun Raheja, did internship with me to learn making solar dryer, and this is launching of his solar dryer. Varun is demonstrating his solar dried products in Delhi on World Environment Day of India. I am very proud of my intern Varun Raheja, who is a leading solar food processing company now supporting 35,000 farmers. So one of the reason I work with startup is to promote solar energy is a solar tea stall in my village now. Another intern of mine, Devil, made this Celestino Pakka cooker, solar cooker designed by him, so for his master's degree, and you can see his Facebook. One of the ways involving men is to uh, have some men trained in solar cooking, and they invite other men to come and do the solar cooking on Women's Day, and they honor the women by giving the feast. Being a global advisor of Solar Cookers International, I was invited to United Nations for a high-level political forum for Sustainable Development Goals in 2017, and this is where I advocated the solar cooking technologies for fulfilling Sustainable Development Goals. I was also invited by Government of India on World Environment Day hosted by India, and the Union Energy Minister is honoring me with a after I demonstrated a solar tea stall in that exhibition. I invite you to see these links of my interns' startups. Thank you so much for inviting me as one of the presenters in this international conference.